Wait a second.
All right, folks, here we are, and it's another episode of On the DELO. This is episode 110. Today is February 1, right? By the time you hear this, it'll be probably 2 weeks later. But we are we're stockpiling podcasts. So today I have my new friend Kathleen. Hello, Kathleen.
Hello there. How are you? I'm good.
And I'm not going to say old friend because you're not old, but we have somebody that's been on the podcast before, Dory, with Green Living, and I'm excited to have you back.
Thank you, David. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this opportunity.
It's an opportunity of energy. It's about exchanging energy and spreading the good word of whatever we want to spread and whoever wants to listen. So, and it's picking up in a good vibration as we speak, which is exciting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Kathleen, I want to talk about you a little bit, and so people can, understand, kind of get into your story. What is a resilience innovator?
It's someone who has lived life lessons that necessitated that I figure stuff out, that were related to my own chronic pain and my own mental challenges as an entrepreneur. So basically, my own chronic pain as a massage therapist, a deep tissue massage therapist, made me have to figure out a smarter way to work, which led me to reverse engineer the body's design for movement so that I could use that instead of force and continue my practice, which worked out great. And then that led to a series of entrepreneurial startups of the expansion of, first it was for me, then me and my clients, then other therapists and their clients, then the public, and then business as well. So all of those things and the challenges of an entrepreneur ended up with me in burnout. So now I had to get myself off the floor after being in the fetal position and saying, oh my God, how do I get my brain to function?
Yeah.
So mine's all been just live through it, learn it, figure it out, and then share it with other people.
So it's real life experience that you go through, and then you have to figure out a mechanism in order to really heal yourself.
Correct.
Because nobody else is going to do it.
Correct.
Would you say the majority of people out there just kind of go through life without even fixing themselves, and that's why, for the most part, in certain analytical terms, I'm not calling everybody broken, but a lot of people are broken?
I would say it's more that very few people get the benefit of the information or the education to have the skills to figure it out.
Okay.
So it's also, our culture is not self-empowerment, right? It's been take this drug, do this thing. It's been a few people with the knowledge telling everybody else what they should do. And
Right.
We all have a body, we all have a nervous system, we all have a conscience and a will. And when we understand how those work, we get to be more self-empowered. So my experience in life as an entrepreneur, and then as a massage therapist, and then as an educator, all of those pieces were the road that gave me the ability to learn how the body works, how the mind works, and how I could have dominion over them. I have a mind.
Yeah.
I have a body.
Yeah.
I have a heart that feels, mind that thinks, and a body that feels and moves. I am not those parts.
Right.
I'm the one in here who's aware I have those parts.
Yeah.
So teaching people that you have that capacity and that you're not your thoughts, and being able to understand that you're in here gives you power to then question and observe and look at things and learn things and make decisions that are based on what you choose to do for yourself.
It's fun. Every time I hear you say this, and we had coffee a few weeks ago, it reverts me back to the Enneagram book and the fact that you are not your thoughts.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And
You have them.
you have them, and you can, as soon as you have them, you can also release them, good or bad.
Correct.
And it's like, oh, I'm feeling this way right now. Cool. I don't want to feel this way, so now I'm going to feel this way. And I think people, they get wrapped up in the fact that they sometimes feel powerless, like they don't have that power.
Right. And there's a lot of contributing factors. So most people don't have any idea how their nervous system works. They don't know that it's going to be in one side or the other. It's going to be in survival mode, or it's going to be in the stay healthy, get along with people
Right.
side, and where you're creative and can do cool things.
Yeah.
So it's really understanding that it's a very specific patterns if you're one side or the other, what aspects of you can access. So you might want to be all positive and get a lot of stuff done and have a lot of fun, but meanwhile you're in chronic stress and you're depressed and irritated and binge eating whatever and doing whatever to try to cope because you haven't been taught that you can self-regulate or you can actually change what side you're operating from.
That, wow. Yeah, it's just such a good...
Sorry, that's where it goes.
No, it's good. I know my wife's going to be excited to listen to this. She had caught you, as we were leaving the event the other day, and she's like, just talking away, and she's like, I got to know her.
She was great. I can't wait to talk to her more, too.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. I'm glad I married her. So let's talk about your entrepreneur journey before all of this and what caused you the pain and the agony in order for you to learn about what you know now.
Anytime you start something that's never existed before, you're up for a challenge.
Yeah.
Right? So I was basically 7 to 8 years ahead of the curve in everything. So as a therapist, nobody was talking about using the nervous system and movement. Everybody was in deep tissue at the time. And then when I went to teach it, nobody was teaching that you can use the nervous system and movement to release pain. They were all teaching deep tissue.
Right.
So, or Swedish, one or the other.
Yeah.
So it was a constant learning for myself, but then watching my own self during the process. So when I would get triggered, like when I would get frustrated, when I would get angry, when I would get despondent because nobody understands what the heck I'm talking about.
Yeah,
they don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So you're like, okay, how do I get better at articulating something that people don't know or don't understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was a series of that. And then in each situation in my private practice, then I became nationally certified to teach occupational physical and massage therapists the methods I created, kinesage self-care and kinesage massage through movement. And then it was like, okay, how do I create a seminar business? How do I do this? How do I get nationally certified? I mean, you figure all those things out.
Yeah.
And then when the opioid epidemic hit in 2015, that's when I got the big universal tap on the shoulder that it was supposed to be for everybody, and it needed to be in a system that anybody with no education could actually follow and do. And that's how I created the virtual system, which is a book that explains how your body mind works, that's paired with the 6 segments of movements from head to toe that actually do the releasing of the chronic tension patterns that underlie things like sciatica, carpal tunnel, plantar fasciitis.
Wow.
Pretty much anything soft tissue.
And this is anybody can do this?
Yeah.
So
I mean, subject to, they don't have a neurological disorder.
Right.
But yes, this is understanding how your body mind works, and just it's things we already do and know because it's built in.
Yeah.
Like the resilience is built in. I didn't design it. I just studied it.
Right.
And figured out how it works and how to use it instead of for movement for releasing the tension that causes issues.
So you're connecting the dots for people.
I'm a big dot connector.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
How did you and Dory meet?
We met, I'm trying to think, originally we met because when I was a massage therapist, I had seen her magazine, Green Living Magazine.
Yeah.
And I like to write, so I reached out or somebody told me about it, that you were looking for people, I can't remember. And so I wrote a few articles, but we hadn't seen each other, so that was back in, I don't know, early 2000s.
Okay.
So we ran into each other at I think it was the summit, the Good
The
Summit.
local first Good Business Summit.
Oh, the Good Business Summit.
Yep.
Yeah. Another one of those coming up. So Dory, why did you want to introduce me to her?
Because I know what Kathleen does, and she can help people, and she can heal the world.
Yeah. Which her and I had talked, and I think it's a great. I think it's a great extension of what I'm trying to put together, what I am putting together with Healing Hospitality, because when you talk about a program and you talk about something on a wider scale, for people to be able to help themselves if they're willing to, go through the steps and to do it, this sounds like an amazing mechanism to do that.
It is, and it's easy. It's simple, right? Like anything you have to learn.
Yeah.
But once you learn, it's your body, so it already knows how to do it.
Right.
So if you're moving in such a way that's designed to release your pain and tension, you're like, yeah, I want to do that again. But I mean, if you think about it, people hold their hands all the time. People do things
Doing it right now.
to
Yeah.
make themselves feel better. Well, if you actually understand the kinesiology and the anatomy inside
Right.
there, and you don't have to because I built it in, right? You just put your fingers where you watch in the videos to put and do the movement and use your awareness and feeling what you feel through your own fingers on your own body, then you feel it.
Yeah.
You feel it release.
Interesting.
So yeah, and then once you know it because its body has memory.
Yes, it does.
So
Memory, the memory of the body.
that's right. Ooh.
That's so cool. What are some things that people that may have been in, I don't want to say like chronic pain. I don't want to make this all about like, oh my God, I'm wasted in pain, but like just a normal person that goes and does something, what sort of relief could they expect by practicing these methods?
It can be huge. Okay, so I actually, when I had my practice, I also worked several other places, including the Ritz-Carlton, so I
Yeah.
can appreciate hospitality.
Yep.
And so you're on your feet all day, you're walking a million miles, you're taking care of people and all those things. So just standing on your feet all day,
Right.
is, you get back pain, could be hip pain, could be foot pain, neck pain, wherever it shows up. So imagine that in a minute. Actually, they take 3 to 5 minutes to do a movement. But in that time, you are putting your hands on your body, and it's a specific, but you're bending over. So normally you'd put your hand on your back and you go, oh, I wish I could fix this or change this.
Yeah.
Well, when you actually do it in a very specific way, what you're doing is you're putting your hands on your body, and you're accessing the receptors that will help those muscles relax. So you can release the tension a zillion times a day.
Okay.
In 2 minutes. I used to do these things. Actually, I used to do them in between my clients.
Yeah.
So I would do 90 minutes a day for 6 years, basically.
Wow.
I'm sorry, 16 years, not 6. 16
yeah.
years. And I would do these in between, like 5 minutes. I had 5 minutes. I could clear my neck. I could clear my hands. I could clear my back. And so you think of it is you build resilience. The more you condition the body, whether it's physical, like building muscle,
Right.
or it's mental, like being able to condition it to handle stress so that you respond rather than react. Because you're using the nervous system, you're just resetting yourself is really what it is.
Yeah.
So when you give your body that awareness and that ability to do that, it remembers it. So now it's just like all you gotta do is put your hand back on your body, and you're like, okay, I'm ready to release. So it becomes this very simple process
Yeah.
that you just do throughout the day, and then you don't build up the chronic tension patterns that cause the big pain like sciatica or carpal tunnel, or it's just those are maladaptive patterns that have been stuck under the awareness of your nervous system. Like you don't know you're holding tension. Your body is, if you think of it like a rubber band.
Yeah.
So the rubber band is, you think you have a whole rubber band. This was for my chronic back problem I had for 20 years. So my back would randomly go out, even after I became a massage therapist, and it would be out for 5 days. And that's how it worked. And I was like, okay, well, what I didn't know at that time, and I learned, was that I thought I had full use of my muscles. Right, so for people like to work out, you know how to stretch, but imagine that your muscle has already been stretched, your rubber band is already half used up, it's taut, you can't use it, but you don't know that. So what happens is, you think you have the full range of motion in that muscle. I'd go over to bend over and my back would go out. I would be working out, I could be doing nothing, and you're like, what the heck,
Yeah.
why is this working like this? It is a loss of awareness in the nervous system. Like it forgets. It's called motor sensory amnesia. So you don't know you don't have it, but your body does. So when you try to stretch a muscle that's already overstretched,
Right.
that is not helping it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's actually the opposite. So what you're doing is you're bringing awareness back to the nervous system with your own sense of touch and your own receptors receiving that. And then you use the movement to actually reset the tendons, reset the muscles, so that everything is like, oh, thank you. You just woke me up. Now I know, like, okay, I'm good.
Because we've lost the root of where all that comes from, with driving and keyboarding and, I mean, all that stuff, right?
Yeah. So
Texting.
Texting.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, man.
Yeah.
So much thumb stuff. So much thumb stuff. To your point, Dory, that it becomes patterns and habits that you just think of it as like it keeps getting used. That muscle keeps getting contracted, but nobody says, okay, let me let you go.
Right.
So think of it as just reset. mental and emotional reset on the resilient side, the mindful resilient side, and the kinesthetic self-care side is physical awareness and release. And then the more you do it, the more you're conditioning your nervous system to know how to do that.
Yeah, that's really cool. When you look at the aspect, and I want to hear from both of you on this, when you look at the aspect of setting intentions and how important that is, tell me like what that means to both of you.
Okay, Tori, good question.
For me, it's thinking of words that, or an intention that I want to do for that day, whether it be love or power of positivity or anything like that, and just becoming one with my body and really connecting inside myself, and then really knowing that I have a gift of intuition and really listening to myself and trying not to go against my gut too.
Yeah, and so I want to ask you specifically, like, you work in business, you're an entrepreneur, you're also very loving and giving, and you have all the aspect of all that sort of stuff, and you talk about intentions, and obviously you want the business to grow, you want to profit, you want to do these things that I think normal human beings in their mind do, because it gives them that motivation and that love. But more importantly, it's something that you want to get the word out there. You want to get people to understand that, yes, at the end of the day, this is what we're doing over here to kind of feed itself, but it's also bringing in people like Kathleen and others that we saw like on Sunday to really help, not even the world per se, just a little bit of people that want to pay attention and come and learn something about electrolysis or farming or all that
growing
sort of
their
stuff.
own food and living off grid, and or just an amazing the goji product.
Yeah.
People were over the moon, and I feel like all the different vendors connected and all the people, and of course the attendance wasn't as high as I would have liked it to be, but all the people really wanted to be there.
That's the thing, yeah.
And people came up to me and said, I went to every single booth.
Right.
And they loved connecting with every single person at every single booth. And they wanted all the cards, and they were going to connect and reconnect with all the vendors and the speakers. And they learned so much. And
I think when we go back to talking about setting intentions, an event like that is not intentionally to be like, the next Taylor Swift concert. It's to be connecting all of those people together. Vendors are not, it's just people. Mm-hmm. And so when you have that sort of energy, that's a success in itself, because then you build relationships upon relationships and create, and then we, move on to the next event and do all that sort of stuff. But there is a population out there that we need, it's our responsibility, or I'm going to take it upon myself, to lead by example and kind of show that if you can heal yourself, if you can spread the word of health, if you can throw events, that are healthy, those that are attracted to it will eventually come if they know about it.
Yeah, I mean, and I know that people are looking for it.
Yeah.
And so that's the other thing about how the word gets out, right? So countering what the commercial world. The commercial world, as opposed to, there's when it is really about sustainability. And I look at what I do is individual state sustainability begets organizational sustainability, which begets societal sustainability,
for sure,
right, and resilience. So helping people understand that there is, and that's one of the reasons why I have so much respect for Dory and how grateful I am for Green Living Magazine, because Dory, you and your magazine are such a hub for connection in this space, and your heart-centeredness about it, and your determination, and your just tenacity in staying the course to be able to continue to get the word out and continue to be a catalyst in the space is really big. I really want to acknowledge that.
Thank you.
Yes, I completely agree. So what about you with setting intentions?
Oh, it's definitely part of my world. I mean, I start out every day with meditation.
Okay.
So that's the first, actually twice a day, morning and night.
Okay, describe meditation for people listening, like from an entrepreneur standpoint. What are you doing? What's meditating?
Sanity. I am starting myself out by taking care of my mental, emotional, physical self, but also to Dory's point about intuition.
Yeah.
Right. As a business person in this world of continuous change.
Right.
So if you think about your nervous system is getting hit and triggered all the time.
All the time.
To be in survival mode. Well, meditation, if you just want to talk about it from a purely functional aspect of physical function, right? It is something that you can do to ground yourself and to prepare yourself
Right.
mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually to be able to show up in a better way in the course of your day. So, I mean, and then, it depends. If you're in survival mode, chances are the mind chatter is going. You got lots of emotions that are all over the place. It's hard to focus. Maybe you're not doing so well with how you're relating to your people at work or your family.
Right.
Your health's in the tank. You got gut issues. You have high blood pressure. You got all these things that are all connected.
Yeah.
So meditation is a way to work on the mind side, the mind and the emotion side, which then affects the body side. And for me, it's a spiritual practice, even more so. Like I got the other wheelhouse done, but for me, it's really accessing the divinity within myself and tapping into that deeper knowing and truth. So when I am from my logical mind trying to figure things out,
Right.
I can meditate, and then I'll sit down and start writing, and I get a whole different set of answers.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, it's really,
Yeah.
it's very practical, and I am very practical, and I know I'm here to increase consciousness and well-being on the planet. I am a soul living a human experience.
Yeah.
That's why I know I have parts, I'm not them.
I like that, yeah.
At the real base of it. So, but for somebody you don't have to be spiritual to meditate.
No.
If you just wanted to be able to calm your breath, so you could calm your heart, so you could quit the mind chatter, so you could actually figure out what is in front of you, it's a smart thing to do.
So let's get a little bit deeper before we have some fun. Where, in your guys' perspective, where, and I want to hear from both of you, where do you think we go when we die?
You want to go?
You go ahead.
Okay. We don't go anywhere.
We're dead already.
We don't go anywhere.
Hold on. We're in space.
Our bodies are done.
Okay.
Right?
I like it.
The vehicle
Yeah.
is done.
Right.
But the energy that is not done.
Okay, so
So if we think about energy, right?
Right.
Energy it doesn't go away. It just goes into another form. So life force, the actual life force that keeps us functioning is not, here's a cadaver, let me feed it and give it oxygen and it can come back to life. It can't.
Yeah.
Right? The life force is in our cells, in our atoms. And so in my view, in my experience, we are it's like I see my body as a coat. Like I take the coat off when it's done, the coat's worn out, it's done with the coat. I believe that my soul continues on. And so it continues on and it's in another form and I do believe that, it's a process. Life is a school.
Yeah.
And we get to keep coming back until we expand our consciousness to greater levels, till it's a greater match of expansion with all that is. And but I actually like that idea because it takes the pressure off. Like for me, like one life is like, ooh, I gotta get it right this time. Like how long? Like how much time I got left? That's not very much. But if I know that it is a process and a school of continuing to get better, I don't know what it is. Obviously, I haven't died or that I remember dying and coming back. But I do believe that it gives more space for grace to ourselves.
Yes.
And kindness for others. Because we're all human and we're all dealing with a nervous system that we can be in and out of our best or not all the time.
I like what you said there, and I was going to ask the question about that. Us as humans, has moms and dads and business owners and workers and all this stuff, there always seems to be an emergency within our life, and me included. And as I approach 50 on Sunday, I'm kind of like, I'm a lot different. I'm the same person, but I'm a lot different in my journey, obviously. Therefore, my perspectives and the way I analyze things, are, I think, more comforting because it comes from a place of like, I don't need to be so hard on myself. It's okay.
Did this come from years of experience of being hard on yourself that you finally got a little nicer? to
Exactly.
yourself?
Now, if I can just touch myself in the right way,
There you
I'll be
go.
good.
Yeah, learn your
Receptors.
Yeah. So, it's kind of one of those things where, are you on the same page as her with?
I am.
Okay.
The magazine's called Your Eco-Conscious Life. So I believe that our soul continues on.
Yeah.
And
Does that take a lot of pressure off of you as a business owner where you're just kind of like, yeah, cool, whatever, I'll learn from this and I'm all good?
I think my story is similar to yours.
Yeah.
I definitely years of, saying not nice things and flipping the coin, and I think you have to be conscious of it every day because I was going down like a path of negativity this morning, and I just had to switch it all around and reset my brain.
Right, and it's negativity that you won't even remember in 5 minutes, but you still go through it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that has a lot to do, again, with the nervous system.
Yeah.
And then programming, right? So it's just, if you think of it like a neural net that's got, you got certain grooves on, just like at the old LPs, right? Grooves of the record. But being able to be aware of it is key. Because the same thing, like I'm harsh and critical, like not doing it well enough, not doing it fast enough, not doing it good enough, whatever the deal is.
Yeah.
So the grace, I think, of time is we actually can get nicer to ourselves. Like, I don't actually have to be mean to myself to make myself do it. I don't need a whip. I could actually be kind to myself and do it better because now my brain's online.
And your energy, too.
Correct.
Thinking of your vibration and your energy and changing.
Energy and all that.
For sure.
So let's give some people, let's give them some value. And we will leave all of your information in the notes or whatever, where they can buy your class, do that. We're also going to do some stuff together. But in the meantime, while people are listening to this, and from both of you, what are some good tips that just simplistic tips in daily life and practices that people can do to help calm their energy, calm their nervous system, not take life too seriously?
Have fun every day. You can fit in 5 minutes and think of things in the beginning of in January, the happiness calendar every day, like call a friend when you're thinking of it. But why does that calendar only have to be in January?
Yeah.
Continue that. And everyone can take 5 minutes. I think people will say, I'm so busy, I can't do that. But like my friend and Claudia and I did we danced to ABBA in the office.
Yeah.
Because it's like you need to do something fun every day.
That's a great idea.
That's
and
a great
it does
idea.
shift your nervous system.
I
Those
like that.
simple things.
Dancing and call a friend. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so elementary yet so overlooked all the time because we're adults, we can't dance,
Yeah.
we can't
have fun anymore.
oh wait, this is a phone, like I can do something besides use my thumbs to mess up my kinesiology. I mean, it's crazy. So all right, what about you, Kathleen? What's
Simple tips for
just to make a person's busy life better. And for them not to take themselves so seriously?
I have a really strong 8-year-old self in me.
Okay.
And I still do stuff that I did when I was 8.
Cool.
Like daily, like ride my bike.
Love it.
Rollerblade. It was roller skates back in the day, but rollerblade. Jump rope.
Okay.
Swing in the swings.
This is great.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah,
Like,
go to the park and
go
swing.
to the park. And
Yeah.
Sing in and singing actually is one of the best things you can do. So if you whatever's like rocking out or whatever your favorite music is, pull it up and sing along. That will shift your nervous system very quickly, and it's fun, right? It's light. It doesn't have to be heavy.
You're not worried about all the bullshit you're dealing with in the moment.
Just
You're
saying.
worried about with the moment of just being in that moment
Yeah.
and reverting back to your childhood. And to what you're saying, for me, it's like every day I get in the car, and I guess the cool thing about today and technology is that you can pull up any tune anytime. So if I revert back to my 8-year-old self and I pull up the old Van Halen 1984 record, and you just hear that in the beginning, I'm right back
Correct.
in my room looking
Yep.
out my window because I'm grounded or whatever, and just rocking out.
A lot.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah. So, and then Kathleen, before we end this, I do want to hear about like your daily habits. So we had done Dory's before, so I want to hear about like what your day looks like and what some of your non-negotiables are.
Wake up, meditation.
Okay.
So I get up at 5, meditate first, and then I I call it my future self. I journal and work on who I'm expanding into.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do my workout.
Like that.
And then I learned, when I was running both businesses for 8 years, I figured out I chose to give myself the first 3 hours of my day, because I would work till 10 or 11 at night, or as we know, longer sometimes. And I was never going to not take care of myself first,
Yeah.
because that is where the energy comes from to take care of other people and to do the cool things in the world that you want to do. So, it's like I care for me, and that helps everyone else,
Yeah.
right? Because I had it definitely reversed back, like most people, especially caregivers.
When you're younger, yeah.
Well, also massage therapists or other
take care of-
caregivers. Take everybody else. I don't have time for me. That's the exact opposite. It is when we take care of ourselves that we have the capacity to care for others even better. And self-sacrifice is not required.
Yeah. I like it. And what time do you go to bed?
I go to bed like by 9,
By
for
9?
sure. Yeah, I turn down my stuff, so work during the day, and then from like 7 to 8, I'm already starting to I map out. If my stuff's not already mapped out, I'm mapping out my stuff. Do journaling. I meditate again before I go to sleep. But screens are off.
Yeah.
Screens are off. It's connecting with other people, so it's the social connection,
Yeah.
family, friends. But that time, because it's really not usually a productive time anyway, and that's usually when unconscious consumption happens. So that's when everybody's binging on TV, whatever they're putting in their mouth, alcohol or food or whatever, because it's just not a productive time of day. So if you instead go to bed earlier,
Yeah.
right, and then wake up fresh, then life just works a lot better.
I can attest to that.
Yeah.
I go to bed at 8. Little flower spray.
That's awesome.
You introduced me to this place. Another plug for Lotus Way.
Yeah, it's awesome.
They're great over there. All right, I got some rapid fire questions for both of you. Beets or carrots?
Beets.
Carrots.
Okay. Farming or massaging?
Massaging.
I would say massaging.
Okay.
Of course. I mean,
Even though you're not doing it anymore?
no, I mean, just in terms of knowing the benefits of good food is critical, obviously, but it's a hard call.
Yeah. It's all right.
It is.
You can say both. It does,
Farming rocks too.
There's no rules.
Yes.
Yeah, I farmed yesterday out of my backyard. I had the carrots and radishes
Nice.
and lettuce. If you look on my stories, I had the most my wife's like, this is the most delicious salad ever. I'm like, I know, because it's from the hands of DELO. All right, cows or sheep?
Sheep.
Sheep.
Okay.
I love the cow though too.
I don't have a cow. I don't have a cow thing. Late night or early morning?
Early morning.
Early morning.
Yeah. Swim laps or hike steep?
Hike.
I would say hike then swim.
Okay, that's all good. What's the last hike you did?
I do, stuff in town all the time.
Yeah.
So the Hayden Butte,
Cool.
if we're just in and out, or Piastua, or mostly McDowell's.
Yeah.
McDowell's.
Very cool.
A lot.
What about you?
Lost Dog and Adaro Canyon.
Nice. Very nice. A buffet or a 12-course dinner?
12-course dinner.
12-course dinner?
12-course dinner.
Yeah, buffets.
How long is that food been
They make
sitting out there?
They make out on me. They make out on me on the buffets. They're like, oh, no thanks.
It's amazing. Bitcoin or gold?
Gold.
Gold.
Okay. Bigfoot or aliens?
Neither. I would say Bigfoot. I'll go for Bigfoot.
I'll go for aliens.
Okay, just got to be different. Metallica or Beastie Boys?
Oh, yeah. I would say Metallica for me.
I've been to a Metallica concert, so
Can either one of you name one Metallica song?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I probably not.
Enter Sandman? Does that ring a bell?
I have to sing it.
Oh my goodness. Oh God. We're going to have to edit this. No, you don't want me to sing it. But anyways, all right, that's awesome. All right, so Dory, what does Green Living have coming up in the next quarter?
We are working on our big Earth Day event.
Okay.
We do a business-to-business conference
Cool.
in partnership with Gensler Architecture. And so we're doing the plans for that right now. And we also have an Earth Day extravaganza, which is in partnership with the city of Phoenix. And
Okay.
that's April 20th. And that's going to be at the Civic Space Park
Very cool.
downtown.
That's an awesome event. It's an
Yeah, that
awesome
sounds
event.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of interaction, a lot of fun, probably 40 vendor booths, as well as
Great.
like last year we had Native American flutists,
Oh, beautiful.
jazz bands, kids fashion show, all upcycled, recycled.
Okay.
I love learning about how the different aspects of community all work together. Like I got the reports of what the cities are doing.
Yeah.
And the communities and how people can get involved in having a more sustainable living and participating more in a sustainable life. It's really cool to hear how many people are on it in this community.
It is, and it's good that you're given that attention, So, and where can people get the magazine?
You can get it at Whole Foods, Albertsons, Safeway, and then anything of like mind with consciousness. So like green dry cleaners,
Yeah.
vegan restaurants, gluten-free restaurants, local coffee shops.
Cool, very cool. And then Kathleen, what would you like people to know or go, or you're just LinkedIn
Know or go?
person, really?
I'm LinkedIn, and yeah, my website, which is my name, KathleenGramsey.com.
I'll put that in the notes.
But I work with leaders and teams and help them shift their nervous system so they can think clearly, get along with people, and stay healthy and have a healthier bottom line. And then for the public, I have my system online on my website, and they can connect with me there if they want to speak specifically for themselves. But my aim is to self-empower everyone to understand how your body mind works and how you can be in charge of it and allow you to live your life how you want to and use and have it be in its top form so that you can.
Perfect. I love it. Well, thank you, ladies, for coming by.
Thank you for
you.
having us.
Always
We love
exciting.
Yes.
You are in control, humans.
That's right.
Just
More than
believe.
you know.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to episode 110 of On the DELO. Please give it a 5-star and subscribe. It really helps with the listenership and a lot of great. God, I'm 110 episodes in. It's crazy. I mean, that's like 100.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That's like 100 interviews, and they're all great people. A lot of great stories. So, I mean, after listening to this great story, revert back to some of the other great ones. But anyways, and thank you, Diddy. Diddy's my.
Thanks, Diddy.
Diddy's
Thanks,
my
Diddy.
right-hand man.
is it?
He's not P. Diddy, he's just Diddy, okay? So
Diddy.
everybody's clear on that. But yeah, please 5-star and subscribe and share. And thank you, everybody, for listening. And until next time, peace out.